Welcome back to Bump Love. Today we are at the ALEPH Cafe Restaurant and Bar, located on Kanjocha Street.
Yeah.
Make sure you pass by here for a coffee, cappuccino, or a skinny latte. So on today's show, we are answering the questions that have been asked. And my first question today is to Rach. Hold on a second.
She really wants to ask you questions.
Yes, I do. Rachel, one of the questions was, what challenges have you found with raising our champion with autism?
Okay. So first of all, Micah is not autistic.
No, he's not. Yeah.
No, he is not. I did mention, I think when we did that episode, that there were manifestations that presented as autism. And usually they'll tell you, yeah, he might be on the spectrum, but on the milder side of where with interventions like we have done over the years, he then becomes your neurotypical child, which he is. So he had struggle with his speech delayed, which I have talked about consistently on the show. And then he preferred his own company, was not looking at people straight in the eye, but all of that has now changed. Now he speaks, he expresses himself and all of that. But maybe yes, there have been a couple of challenges, mostly internal, if I'm being honest. Internal in the sense that, you know, he was not like other children in the beginning. Now the playing field is leveled. And when he's with other kids, you can tell that he is okay. When I call him, he will respond to his name. He listens to instructions and can go and do stuff. So I think for me that the challenge was mostly within struggling with, is he going to be normal? Will he be able to make friends? Will he be able to celebrate his birthday? Will he be like a normal child? And then of course, once in a while I met I want to call them ignorant stares and questions like, "Omwana tawulira," you know, kind of statements. Yes, and I think I might have shared a story or two here on the show. What I pulled one time and somebody was trying to tell him to do something and he wasn't paying attention. Because kids like that, they hear, they're just not responding to you. It doesn't mean that they're deaf or that they are not, or that they're big-headed. And she made a comment and it sort of rubbed me the wrong way. So the challenges have.
And this one of Taurida was not that they can't hear. No. It was that they're big-headed. They don't listen.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. That was the implication. So internal challenges, just dealing with my own interpretation of and fears of what was happening. But also I mean, parenting is hard work. First and foremost, you put in a lot and invest yourself in your children. But now it's sort of like we took a detour from the regular parenting to try and get him back on, to try and rewire his mind and the way he thinks and the way he processes information. So we're doing a bit more. I could say a bit more. So more reading, more exposing him to things that will help his vocabulary. I was constantly worrying and thinking about school. Where is he going to go to school? It has to be in a place where he's going to be taken care of individually. And so I would say those have been the challenges, but they've mostly been internal. And maybe just to encourage a mom that season eventually passes. I know when you're going through it, it might seem like my kid may never be normal, but they will become normal, of course, if you put in the work and pray. Please. And pray.
That's why I called prayerful. No, but you say it's very important, I think, for many moms to realize that in that area of early childhood development, it's very hard for even us to be able to say, to diagnose that, oh, this child is autistic, or no, this is just a normal delay. Not normal, but this is a delay. And it can happen and they'll come out of it. So it's until a child is like between 2 and 3 years that now we can say, okay, this is definitely ADHD, this is ADD, this is autism, this is just a delay. But the important thing is not to run away from the symptoms. Don't
bury your head in
don't bury your head in the sand. And that's what I absolutely love about you, because I know you came to me many times and you're like, okay, Manuela, something is off. And I remember telling you, do something, because now we can't tell. We can't tell if it's going to last, if it's not. So we don't know whether it's attention. We don't know anything. And unfortunately, we can't know until he's 2 years and it's too late.
Oh, yes.
So it's better when you see something, You'd rather put in than not
effort,
put in
yes.
at all. And I think that you really did. You were worried. But then now to see him, even right now, I'm just like,
he's okay.
it was, it was really
okay.
a delay.
It really was.
Yeah.
All right. I got a question for this one over here.
Another one.
Another one, yes. Pumla, this question is asking, or this person is asking, do you believe in marriage, or have you just failed to find the one?
The one that does what?
You know.
Well, marriage. This is a valid question because on this set here, I'm the only one who isn't married. I do highly, highly, highly believe in the institution of marriage.
She really
My
does.
friends, actually, no, people don't understand it.
No,
they
you-
always
she
think
really
I'm
does.
discouraging people
No,
from marriage.
no,
We
no.
can. I'm always advocating for people to tie their union, to commit and do it in legally, actually to legalize their union. More so in in the younger years, I see marriage mostly as a vehicle for stability, for security, for accountability, especially in societies and environments, institutions such as ours, where the governance, the laws don't protect the vulnerable partner in the event that things go haywire, you know? And not to say that anything will happen, but we've got to be logical about certain things. Like something might go wrong, and I've had to take many women to feed her. I've had to get lawyers to help women who are dumped on and they can't fend for their children, whose children are taken away after, or who are kicked out of their matrimonial homes.
Yeah.
So for me, marriage is a thing. I believe in marriage 100%. Then in the later years, I see marriage mostly as maybe companionship. And also to have somebody who can
Old age needs a gango.
Angie said it in a show, that old age needs a gango, and there is no further truth than that. Old age needs a gango. That's the truth, and it's also been proven that for longevity, those big words. So mostly for companionship, and also for somebody to be able to carry on. So whoever goes first or whatever. So someone you want to have your secrets for a time to be passed on to another generation for when you're no longer there, you know, for your wishes to be passed on. If I died and somebody wanted, I'll tell you a story. I have an aunt who passed on and she didn't have somebody, and she literally wanted to be cremated. That's just what she wanted. And we didn't know the backstories of that, but she had nobody to defend her. So she came back, she was abroad, she came back into the country, and they looked for where to bury her. And they did not know that her late ex-husband had written a will insisting that that particular woman be not buried anywhere near. And her father had also written in his will that any woman who he gave away to be married should not be buried there. And that's when it came together. She knew about these wills, and that's why, and she was an older sister. So she passed on this message to a younger sister who had no idea about this. But if she had a spouse or somebody a voice who could have spoken for her, maybe they would have insisted. So I do believe in marriage 100%. That one, over what, be cheap, and legalize your unions. There's no excuse for it. The one.
That's the one we're waiting for. Because we want to know if we are going to Shamba Gauni, because we are ready to dress up. I've lost weight even for that. Because
the truth of the matter is, I think I found the one over 30 times in my lifetime. Because for me, the one is, so I understand that, but for me, the one has always been the one that you need at that time and for a certain reason. For me, that's what it is. But I do understand what you're saying. Yours is like full time. Like, I feel like the one has been popularized by cheesy romance novels and movies. So I don't believe that there is one person created for everybody, like a soulmate who will catch you, sweep you off your feet, and ride with you into the sunset. And then you have babies together, and then you live happily ever after in a white picket fence with a nice dog. And I don't believe in that shit. What I do believe in is compatibility. And I do believe that the more compatible you are, then the the easier it is to navigate through.
The closer you are to the one, madam, that's the one.
Or the closer you are to the one, right?
That's the one that people refer.
The closer you are to the one. No, I have found people who think that they are with the one, and then they're always struggling. Then other people come and tell them, no, marriage is work. Marriage doesn't have to be so much work. There are people who work so much more than others. Then you wonder, what's happening?
That's true.
And then you see that others they are also putting in effort and a lot of work, but it's not breaking them. It's not that much. It's just this work of, we are working, we are building each other. It's not easy, but we are managing. So for me, that is it, that there are better matches for some people than others. Then I also believe in timing. You might be compatible and you meet somebody who is your person, but it's not the right time for either one of you or even both of you. So you might be a good fit, but it doesn't work. So I have met people who I am compatible with, and I've met them at the wrong time. And I've also met, and vice versa. But right now, I am content living in the moment as it comes. And luckily, I have the luxury of not thinking too far into the future because I don't have a biological clock ticking for anything. No one is banjaring me or banjaring my uterus. So I'm comfortable as I am in this. And I know that things people want me to say now, but there's another question I saw that is coming. Let's wait. Be given to you.
Be patient.
Be patient.
That I know Pumla comes off as anti-marriage, but this chick here celebrates our anniversary. She celebrates our marriages. Maybe a little more than the people who are in the marriages.
Some of them even remind them.
You remind No, but I just wanted to say that she is really a big advocate of the marriage institution. And we have benefited from her advice.
Also another thing, their parents, like that example that you always say about your mom and dad. She always says, oh my God, these guys. So
but they want to set the bar too high. Angie, we say that together sometimes. I don't have parents set our bars too high.
But also, I think, like, let's say something that you don't know about. Pumla loves love.
She does.
My God. You see us here, we love love. Pumla passes all over. She's a hopeless romantic. This one who you see here. She's a hopeless, she loves love. She hopeless romantic. She likes but
she even gets crashed an engagement party sometimes.
And she was there filming. Excuse us, it's now our story. You didn't answer the question, so let us assist you. Guys, there was an engagement party. Pumla left us. She went to attend the engagement party. We asked her if she knows the couple. She's filming, she's sending videos. She's like, oh my God, he proposed. You know what he said? We're like, okay, so Pumla, who is the couple? Who? This guy? I don't know.
Reminded me of a date I was on. I think I sent you guys that video. I think also where I was on a date at Sky Hotel, and I was up, and then I looked down, and there was a nice love heart, and there was a couple kneeling, and I ran away from my date. Literally went down. I wanted to hear. Oh my God, what's this? I remember, hey, shit, I left somebody. And I had to run back. No, I love love. That's one. I really do love love.
Yeah, you do love love. Yes.
Let me ask Rosette. Rosette is my sister, my youngest sister. Let me ask you, Rosette. Somebody asked, how are you able to keep your partner out of the limelight?
Oh, that's a good question.
Celebrity boyfriend. Anyway, my man, Banang. Anyway, how have I kept him out of the limelight? First of all, he's a private person.
Yes.
He's a very private person. If anything, he would be those people who just want to have your small family in a corner. No one needs to really know about you. But of course, with my life, that had to change. A bit, yes. I posted him, and someone met him and said, like, so he met me the other day, and he's like, oh my God, I thought I knew her. I thought like we had gone to school with her. She stopped me and said, oh my goodness, Rosette's husband, how are you?
Woman.
Yes. But I don't.
How did you respond?
He was catches.
Yeah, he was catches. He has no problem anyway. He has no problem. But because he likes that private life, I want to
try and maintain it.
If he's not comfortable, then why make him this? I feel like that's it.
Yeah, it helps that he's also private.
Yeah.
I think it does help.
So I'm guessing you probably have to run things by him maybe before you share, even on the show.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh,
really?
He knows his person.
You know, I'm sure that he gets the reverse question as well.
Yeah.
Like, how do you manage being with a woman?
With the woman who is
in the
out
limelight
there,
and who's out there and who's extroverted and whatever?
Yeah, he gets that a lot, and it's like we've been together 16 years. So
that's a long time.
Yeah, we've been together 16 years.
That's a long time.
So we
look at
understand
Mr.
each other.
Bulondo, but Mr. I see Mr. Bulondo so shocked.
But you know, he's a very, very busy person. First of all, even if I post him out, he will not see it. You know how others post that my husband will wake up and see that I've posted on Facebook.
And even like,
He has no time.
he has no
If I'm
clue.
to tell him I love him, I will meet him in the bedroom and tell him I love him. I post him on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
He will not go there. So who am I doing it for?
I know,
Also,
I
it's a
know.
thing of for what?
I
For the
know,
world.
I
And
know.
I don't feel like I should be under pressure
Yeah,
to show that.
yeah.
Sometimes I feel late. I've posted him once in a while, like on an anniversary.
Okay, yes,
When when I celebrate his birthdays, when I feel late to post him. But no pressure. I really don't feel pressure. Yeah, but if I could post him on a billboard, Chipande. Yeah. And those people who would wake up and say happy birthday. Come on, everyone. But I really no pressure.
I'm sure he will beg you after this show. Please,
like,
please
no,
never do it. Please never do it.
So he's
Please
those
never
people.
do it.
He's those people. He doesn't love surprises. I took him to Javas a while ago for his birthday and told the guys to come grab him. He was so embarrassed. So he's those kinds of people, and I respect that. Yeah, I respect that. Also, when I do it, he's not going to see. Even when I wake up and paste this man who I'll have to remind him. Is your Facebook still on? Do you even check? Please check. I posted you, and he will still not have the time. But that's his life. He's all about the business and all that. I will ask Manuela.
Yes, darling.
The question here. Manuela, you have many questions. This one.
We are picking the best one.
How do you manage to separate brand as a husband and a partner in the business?
Well, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
A very good question.
We also want to know.
I'm also here. I'm the one who said that question. Because I really want to know the answer.
And I kind of feel like it's a complicated answer. And the good thing is he's here, so we shall see whether I'm speaking the truth or some lies. Okay, so we see it twofold. When we come to do business, we come to do business. There's no, and I'm coming, there's no underlying, when we come to do business, we'll have fights, you know, like how business partners can be. We shall have our fights, we shall have our challenges, we shall send each other emails, make sure we are copied in the emails because it is business. Then when there is a disparity,
Okay.
said Tata Wagambiotia, we shall do that one. You said you want what? That bump love will what? Okay, sir. When the what is what? As long as we are not on the same page, I step down, I step back. But then also there's a third thing.
But that came after a while.
Yes, it did come after a while. It came after learning that it wasn't helping our marriage just because we were working together. So we work together. As long as we're on the same page, but now we fly.
We see you.
We really move. But immediately we we are not on the same page, I step down immediately, and I take his leadership, his kingship. Banage, his you
see how the leader is dressed today. Let me take a pic and share with you guys. The leader is dressed.
But then I also must say something that at the point, like Pumla had said, when we were really at that point when I didn't know when to step down, there's something interesting that happened for us. We divided also businesses. So like when it comes to the corridor, he's a partner at the corridor. When it comes to the garage, I'm a partner in garage. But we know that the corridor is for Manuela and she's a leader. So when it comes to the corridor, even when we don't agree, he also will be like, but this one is, I'll step away. But when it comes to like Bump Love, where we are equal like this, I step down very quick. You can't know. Because I see his, I'm like, honey, that one. That one's the one that we shall do. Yeah, so that's how we've managed to do. Yeah. Have I answered your question?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
plan. What about when it comes to finances?
There's a question in the audience.
He cannot come because of how he's dressed. He cannot come today.
He can't come.
Maybe you text me that question. I'll answer for you. What about finances when it comes to separating your finances as a family and as in the business?
So our business finances are business.
Okay.
They are not family. We get salaries from our businesses.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, we either get dividends out of our profits or not.
Okay.
But the money for the businesses stays in the businesses to grow the businesses, because for us, we're building a legacy. So it's not, we are not for eating the money. No, it's not. Then when it comes to, because now even our personal brands have, Mr. Mulondo cares and takes care of all the financial obligations in our home. No matter how much I earn, no matter how much I whatever, Mr. Mulondo. Mr. Mulondo takes, but I must tell you that I struggled with that one, especially where I come from. I'm like, I don't want somebody to be over me and whatever, and run how finances are run. I wanted us to do our finances together, have a joint account. I tried everything until one day he just told me, Manuela, I want to take care of you because that is my responsibility. And then I asked him, so what do I do with my money? He said, Manuela, if I pass away before you do, I'm expecting that you will hold fort.
Hey, okay. You got to work.
I got to work immediately. It was a very, and now I knew what his expectation. He's like, I don't want to hear that our children's lives,
the quality of life,
went down just because I no longer am around. So, madam, sort your books out, please. Please sort please get yourself together. And so I do monthly. I report to him. I say, well, this is where I have reached. This is how much we are doing, and this I am doing. This is So
the message I love from that is that, and I'm sure it's out there as well, that your husband loves and provides for you. And I feel that that is why it is easy, maybe not easy, but that is why you are able to submit. Now, men, they are.
Right?
They are not providing.
Right.
Then they want the woman to submit. I don't get it.
But also what helps, because I really struggled in the beginning, and you guys know you know what I went through. Because I believe I'm wise, but you know me, I'm so wise. But then how we handled money was very different. Brian is an amasa. So you can be there and you can wear the same shirt, you can have the same, we have the same chairs 10 years. I have to report you. We have the same chairs 10 years, but he can't care. He's like, can we buy land here? Can we? He's an amasa. So you can say, Manuela, those chairs. I say, he's like, when you are counting plots, that's when you count me. Those which together. That's how he works. And for me, I'm different.
Well good, well good, well good.
So I need to say,
Manuela said her and her husband, they keep business.
Oh, you are dying.
They have their romantic moments. We wanting to give them rooms. So, but yeah, they mostly keep it professional.
Yeah.
But you can tell
That's
that
nice.
That we are,
Even today when Van walked in.
Wow! But I've not seen him for an entire
It
weekend.
takes so much longer adjusting her mic, her dress. You just see later in the episode that your skirt was up like this. No one was telling you anything. Then when there is something, no, cut. Actually, it's just this hair that has fallen out of place like this. Cut. Therefore, your dress, it was.
Guys, to be honest, I think he does that with all of us, but he's super strict with her.
Yeah, he is strict
Manuela,
with
don't
me.
go off
This is
point.
business.
Yeah.
This is business.
Yeah, he really, you've seen that too.
Yeah,
While he's also sweet, he really kubes me the most on this team.
That is true.
No, that's so I'm serious. Stop it. Hey, Banana.
Stop shouting.
Stop shouting. Manuela, keep quiet. Meanwhile, it's Rosette. It's Rosette. Now he's shouting for me. Anyway, but that is it.
She's here to take all our...
That's nice. Yeah, they just should give me. Anyway, I have here for Angie. I feel she's kept quiet, and it's time for us to ask her some good question. Have you ever battled comparison, especially when you are younger? And I think this person comes from, you had children very young, and then now your friends are moving ahead, and then so did you ever battle comparison?
When you said young, I didn't know how far back that meant, but no, because I'm the second last one, but I was always like sickly and small, so I was never compared to anybody, and I've always been like,
The special one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, I keep telling people in business, they're like, Angie, why aren't you competitive? And I'm like, for most of my life, already I'm one person who has been raised to believe I am super unique.
Yeah.
Our parents never tried to box us. We are 8 and everybody kind of has taken
their
a path
thing.
of their own, shined in a different way. My dad had the accident. There's somebody who's there to ensure he eats. There's another one for medicine. So all of us kind of know where we lie. So now getting into the years where comparison would have been such a big deal, I found myself, I woke up one day and I was 100 kilos. I had children.
You were once 100.
She was, yes.
I met someone who told me, Angie,
Yes.
she used to be so
Yes, when I had when I had my babies, it was too much love, being overdone. Yes, so I kind of lost it, but I found my way back once again. Pink coconut. Somebody asked how do I keep in shape? My job. Yeah, all my friends would say that, and I'm like, come to my job, and you see if you've been making 7,000 steps a day, you will.
Now you make a
30.
melee.
Yeah, so my job really helps with that. But in terms of comparison, my life took a completely different direction from the rest of my friends, my peers, my siblings. So there was little to come. It's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
While people were getting ready to go to the club, I was putting pads in my breast to stop them from. Right now, while people are taking kids to school,
You don't know what to do with yourself.
how do you compare yourself to someone like me? And then you guys know my mind thinks in like 250 directions, and then 1, then 2, then. So the truth is, comparison doesn't make sense because we are so unique.
Yeah.
How you bring these two and start thinking something is better than the other,
Yeah.
and have it in your mind
Yeah.
that nobody can be like you or will
Yeah.
be like you. So
Yeah.
that's what works for me.
Yeah.
for sure.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
It surely is.
Yes, it
surely
really is.
It
And yet
surely
we
is.
truly are different.
Okay, so Rach, your next question: why did you leave news anchoring? Where are you working now?
Okay, 4 years later, I still get this. So why I left was a bunch of reasons. I think I had gotten to the point where I want to say tired of what I was doing at the time. And I had tried out different things within the organization that I was working for, and they were not fitting my mold. I was not aligning with those other things. So which means news anchoring was the thing I had wanted to do. I had done it, and I felt like I was not giving as much as I was giving at the beginning. So I had reached the end of myself. And so I started to have conversations with myself, like, what else can I do? What do I like? What am I passionate about? And I am very family oriented. Family is such a huge part of who I am. And if I'm being honest, news anchoring took away from time with family. Yes. First with the hours.
The news would be on 9?
Yes.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
You know, I used to wonder all the time, these people, don't they have families?
Yeah.
Like, I literally used to ask that question.
Like, what are they doing there?
What are they doing there? It's 9, it's
And
live. It's
Yes,
live.
and it is live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is live. There was a time when they were recording the news, but when I was there, we were doing it live. So you'd end up getting home 10:30, 11. So Mike has probably already slept by that time. And so I just felt like it was chipping away at that part of me, and I didn't like how it made me feel. But also being in the newsroom, you don't really have control of your time. You can be called upon anytime.
Yes,
Anything can happen, yeah. Whether it's breaking news, or you're called upon to do this story, or you're called upon to do this. My weekends, where I could have been spending time with family, again, I had no control. Because if, say, a news anchor who was, say, reporting in another region or another area had to leave, then I'd probably have to step in. Yeah, and there's very little room to say no. Yeah. That I want to spend time with my family. Yeah.
Everybody has a family.
Yes,
You
everyone
signed
has
up
a
for
family,
that.
You signed up for it. So when I felt like that was being compromised, and the fact that I felt like I had reached the end of myself, it was time to make the decision. I'd been there 7 years, and it just felt right to leave.
Yeah. And you did such a good job.
Yes.
No, you were so good. And it was so shocking, especially because of your personality.
personality,
Like this, I was
yes.
in school with Rachel for a bit, and when I saw her on the news,
Shock upon shock.
who's that? Yeah, like, because I had wanted, there was a time when I also wanted to do some journalism and be there reading news and
it suits
Lucy
your
Banya and
personality,
whatever.
yes.
When I would see Rach, I was like, is that the girl who was in school with us? And she was so calm, collected, you know, put together.
Yeah.
She didn't want to, she would never wanted to be in the front of anything.
I still
She was always in the back,
don't,
even here,
Even
by
on this
the way.
show, I
If this
struggle.
show had, if we used to have 3 lanes on this
I
show,
would be in the
she'd be
back.
in the back.
For sure.
But yet
For
you were
sure.
so good. So I think first that was the shock,
Yeah.
that you were on the news, and then that you were delivering
So well.
150%.
Yes.
It was like, it was so shocking.
And I actually
She
worked with
inspired
Brian, yeah.
Mulangira Mulondo.
Mulangira Mulonde.
Oh, wow.
who also was a news anchor. So in terms of what I'm doing, I am doing Bump Love.
Yeah.
I am shining at this thing called
Yes.
Motherhood.
Even at Bump
Yes.
Club, you were shining.
I am shining. Yeah, so I'm mostly juggling Bump Love, and I'm doing some private communication work as well, and being a mama and a wife, which are things that I absolutely enjoy doing.
And that suits you.
And that suits me.
Yeah. And that you do so well.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. I have a question for Nabachwa. Again, we're going marriage, the route of marriage. Someone is asking.
This is the one where she answers the question.
I think.
Let's prepare.
Someone is asking. So it's like multiple questions in one. Are you married, divorced, or in a relationship? Are you still with your son's father? These are many questions. If not, do you mind sharing why and giving advice to other ladies?
But is this a question where you answer our question?
It is.
You get your own show.
So, I have been divorced for as long as Manuela has been married.
Oh,
Yeah.
10
Going
years.
on 11 years now. And well, the reasons why, I should say maybe. The reasons why, I wish I could give you the reasons why, but okay, I can give you a little bit of that, but I'll just give a disclaimer, the dangers of a single story. If one person in a situation shares their side or version of events where other people were as significant as they were,
Yeah.
they give you, the listener, a bias towards the version that they want you to know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what I tell you, right? I'll always give you, even if it's in my mind, it might be a holistic version. And I might think I'm giving you the whole truth of the story. But if you ask the other person, they might have a completely different narrative. So I'll just keep it at a general level, right? And also to be respectful to my son's father. And so I got married young. I've said this before. I was not ready. So the marriage went from really happy to unhappy to severely miserable real quick. Real quick. And because I'm not a dreamer, I did not imagine myself forging or idealizing myself through the darkness of a marriage that I knew well deep down inside could never be saved. I don't have I think it's a gift, I think it's a superpower that I see women do to struggle through, even in times of their worst of turmoil, for 10 years with a hope of better in the future. I live my life in moments. And my happiness today is, if I don't see for at least maybe a year that there might be change, more often than not, I move, I cut, and that's just what it is. So that's what, and because I'm not a tree, I walked away. And that's just what I could do. And I'll tell you that it was a mutual agreement between Teja's dad and myself. And I just walked away because I couldn't do it anymore. Right now, but the advice, let me just finish with that one. What I would just like to advise young ladies is, first of all, there's an episode we did on the Okuguma. Oh, yes. Enduring a marriage. I would advise you, first of all, to go back to that show and listen to what each of these ladies had to say about that. But in a nutshell, as asking me, Pumla, choose happiness in whatever package it comes to fit you, to suit you. If you're not hurting people along the way, just choose your own happiness, regardless of what other people say. Listen to yourself, other people, and just be happy as you for yourself, because you will die in a marriage, but you can also die in singlehood. That's true. So whichever decision you choose, be content with it. So that whatever happens either way, it was your decision to make, and you have nobody else to blame for it. Okay? Choose happiness. Choose happiness. I am currently in a fulfilling relationship. Please note that the date of shoot is not the date of air. So when I say currently, I mean today the date of shoot. I am currently moving a journey with somebody who I feel gets me, and who I also get. I don't get him very properly. And also him, it doesn't get me very properly sometimes. But I feel like the compatibility, I feel like we are compatible, and I also feel that it is the right time for us to live our moments in the present as they are, with no real future, with no real thought of the future, but in abstractly, it's not something we discuss or talk about, but I hear it come up in certain ways, and for the first time in my life, I don't feel anxious about it. So that is progress. Yes, it is. For me, it is progress. So yes, I am in a relationship, and
this is the first time you're saying this.
On the show.
But also I'm on the shelf, you know. Let me tell you. That's why I tell you people to legalize your union. Because people come and tell you they've stolen my woman, they've stolen my man. They stole them from where? You had put a ring there. You had not. The ones where they put a ring and they said they stole, the woman walked away. The man walked away. There is no theft of anything. But I'm good.
I call for an engagement ring.
No. Now, and you see why I can speak like this openly is because there were times in the past where I would say things like this and be so scared because I would feel like the man is now taking it as she wants me to propose, she wants me to say something. No. And the guy I'm seeing now, like he understands me, and I love the fact that he's I know that I'm a bit here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
But it even amuses him the way I behave sometimes.
Yeah. And we've seen it, like we've seen it even as ourselves.
Because you've met him.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
I forgot.
Yeah.
We
like him.
Yes, I was going to say that if the date of air, this relationship is not, we are all going to be affected because now we are stakeholders.
Yeah, no, and he likes you too, actually.
Yeah.
He likes you. Yeah. Angie, please keep quiet. Yeah, so that's it on my side. I would like to ask my darling sister again a question. Rosette, did you ever feel pressure to have a girl before you had your Zara?
Yes, I did.
So straight.
Straight up. Yes, I did. So I don't know if I mentioned, we did a show before. I lost my first son. And I had a second son. So after Dean, who is now my eldest, I really wanted a girl. And then a boy came. And then I wanted a girl. Another boy. So the pressure was really, really on. But that was on me. It was really on me. I think we mentioned, we talked about this before. If you're, society, I closed. You don't tell me. You don't banja me a girl. You're not, I don't even know you. Who are you? To ask, when are you bringing? Of course, they bring it in funny ways. Senga now know you are that's a girl. Yes. And yet you know your struggle. It's like, asking, those things of asking, when are you having a baby? When are you having more babies? You don't know what struggles people are going through. Yeah. Like I wasn't happy going to the labor ward. And I'm being told news I didn't want to hear. Well, it was a blessing, but to me then wasn't making me happy. But of course I accepted. And I'm like, if these are the boys that the Lord is giving me, there's a reason why. He's giving me my boys. And I love them. But the pressure was on me.
You were giving, it was internal pressure.
Internal pressure. I'm like, I really need to. I didn't even want those things of, but mother of boys. I'm like, no, don't call me mother of boys. Do not call me. I want a girl. I'm like, no, there should be a girl. And I remember my spiritual journey just going higher. I'm like, the Lord said, ask, and it will be given. Dear, I'm asking you, my dear Lord, give me a girl child. I went to the scan. The first time they gave me news that it's a girl child.
I can imagine.
But then I was shocked at my reaction. I decided to, you know how you're like, are they sure? Let me wait until that. And then she came, my baby girl came to the world, you guys.
And yes, you're right, it was very internal because I remember like when I had a girl, she was like, oh, you're so lucky you have a mini you.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are times when she would say things like, Kale, like she'd be putting on her earrings or whatever. It's like, Kale, now I'm making up to Kale people who I have can't even care. But if I had that girl, I would plait her hair. I would do earrings. I would do. Now us who are giving birth there to girls, what's that? You're so lucky. Yes. So it was very internal.
I'd always figured, those twinning things. And then my girl comes. I've not done that twinning so much because she has come at a busy time in your life. Those things when you really have time to figure out your things and what. But the pressure was within, and I honestly had it. My husband didn't pressure me. My family didn't. It was really internal, and I'm glad that the Lord answered my prayer.
We
love Zara.
We love Zara.
We love Zara. Zara, she's our bump love baby.
Our bump love baby.
Yes, she is.
Okay, my question is for you, Muchala Mlondo.
Yes, please, hit me.
How did you put off societal pressure for baby number 3?
Oh, there was?
There was no pressure.
There was?
Okay, let me see.
They think there was? No, I'm not under any pressure. But now
there's a continue.
Oh, okay.
Continuous question here. Okay. Manuela, are you gonna give us a bump love baby?
I know. Already had a bump love baby.
Another bump love baby. Why
was another one? No, to be honest, I I don't know, society, you take long to disturb me.
How much
Society, you really...
Have you ever felt that anybody banjaring you?
No. I think I hear my mom several statements, but in fact, I'd be thinking she's joking. Like, there's no way. But I'd be like, what? You know? And then, because when I remember ever having the pressure, was the first baby. Because I knew I was getting married to a Mulangira, a Muganda. Yes. Him, he wanted girls. He could have girls all he wanted. But I was like, Lord, just assist me and give me a boy. That's the only time I would say society or whatever. Like I would think that it was at the back of my mind. But now I gave birth to a boy. I gave birth to a girl. I want now one who has both sexes, the one who wants I don't understand. And then also because I'm a person of even numbers, I know that a third child means a fourth child. But that's just me. You can't put me pressure. And the truth is, when I will want a third child, if I will ever want a third child, I will choose to have that child. No one will come and give me no one can talk in my... Actually, the only person who can talk is God. I think the devil tries, but in terms of voices I hear, Bambi, you can't put me under. By the way, you can't put me under any
That's the first time I'm hearing anyone put anyone on pressure in this generation, in this period, who has had a pigeon pair, both a boy and a girl. If you have two girls, they'll ask you at the boy. If you have two boys, they ask at the girl.
Okay, so then that means maybe I should. That means if you've asked that question, you kind of want the advice. Maybe people are asking you for a third child, and maybe it's because you have two, like of the same sex. Possibly. That's why they're possibly asking you for a third child. But there's a cool answer that my mother-in-law has, and that's what I've just said just right now. She says, yeah, she gave birth to a girl, gave birth to a boy. You want her to have one who has both? Like, what is she struggling for? Yes, you want an intersex baby. What is she struggling for? Yeah. So I think that if you have a pigeon pair, have some cool answers. And I've always told you guys on this show, have some clever answers, some really quick, nice, cool answers that you can give people when they ask you questions. When my mom asks me, oh, Mimi, you know, when are you giving another one? I said, Mommy, Kasta, you put an envelope here with school fees for university. Mommy, I give birth tomorrow. For you? Envelope. Just that one. So just have some good, clever answers, especially if you know you're done and you know society disturbs you. Have some good, clever answers for them.
Very true. And be ready when if some people don't get the clever
answers,
then you have to explain yourself.
But it's a personal choice.
Why are you giving me?
Don't allow anyone to put you on
pressure for, especially when they're not going to be there to assist you with that. Now I'm going to get annoyed, but I shouldn't. So let me ask the person who doesn't usually get mad, because Angie, a question came for you. Wondering if you ever get annoyed, if you ever be there and you get annoyed and frustrated, if you ever raise your voice, if you ever, you always portray a person who's calm, soft and calm, has a soft life. Yeah, that was a question that, that's a question that came through for you. Answer the masses.
Can't wait for this one.
Chokai also have an answer.
Give it to us.
You people,
you answer, then
let me answer for you. You people, if you find Angie on the pink coconut set, volume,
as a different person.
My good Lord, so she is a monster. She is tough. She actually, that thing, beast mode. She can come and people have worked the whole night and she says, take that
down.
What is this? Take it down, and she'll shout. Serena will hear her from the back of Serena to the front of Serena, and all her men stop. Meanwhile, these are men, they have children, they have been walking like this because they are pink coconut guys. Now, when Angie comes in, people start shaking like this.
Lady vibes.
Angie, Yeah, that's the only time I've seen her in other parts of
But
life.
even on the phone, especially with pink
Pink coconut.
I think that brings out that
That part of her. Yeah.
Is this true, madam?
Yes. Yes, this is true. If you ask people I grew up with, my siblings, I was always like that. I get into trouble, but you ask yourself, now what do we do with this one? But the two places where I can say, yes, you'll see the other side of me is one, you don't play around with my work. Because I have made promises to people, and the company name is on the line, my name is on the line, so when you mess around with that, then you're messing with all our future. A lot of people depend on the success of this company.
Yeah.
So I have no room for people like that.
Yeah.
Another time when you see me extremely lose it is with my children.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's why they'll be like, Mom is so, I started being called a lioness and I didn't know why, but over the years I've started understanding it.
Okay.
I don't know how to love in half measures, especially when it comes to my children. So if I see my children doing things that will be detrimental to their future, oh my gosh, somebody came home one day and I was spanking Asante and they were like, oh my gosh, please stop. I looked at this human being and I said, do you think you love my child more than I do? So if this is my mode of disciplining them, go ahead, do you. Just like no matter what happens, when I find a parent disciplining their child,
You keep
I
quiet.
will never say anything because nobody loves this child more than you
The
do.
parent.
So it's important to let them do what they're doing. So those are the two, because I know that if I do not teach my children the right way, and I was stricter when they were younger.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have this laissez-faire attitude. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'd like to be like you.
They're
There's
grown.
so much work that is
Yep.
done
Yep.
in the
Before.
past.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to business, a lot of people ask me, how have you gotten to where you've gotten? The truth is, there are different ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
If I were left to my own, and that's what I did in the initial stages, my employees saw this. And this was tanking us.
Yeah.
They would know if you tell her this, she'll always believe. If you tell her that, she'll always believe. So it took a sudden, flipping of the switch where I was like, guys, you're a father, I'm a mother, I'm somebody's wife, right? When you find me sleeping underneath a tent because I cannot go home because I have made a promise to a client, don't mess with my business.
Yeah.
I will then treat you like the child you choose to be. So if you want to be treated as an equal, as a man, as a son who's an adult, then act your age.
I love it.
But beyond that, yeah, I'm
she's
just
back.
like
She just did like a real switch right there.
yeah.
yes.
But otherwise,
And it looks like we have come to the end of our show.
Yes.
With love from the rest of us at Bump Love.